Okay, here we have Metminco again. I've left the lines I had on from the last video on here, so if you don't know what they're about or it looks a bit busy to you, you have a look at the last video, and we're basically just playing with action-reaction lines and seeing how price relates to these red horizontal lines and how price relates to these time lines and how price relates to the median line here. And but anyway, today I want to zoom in on today's action. We can't always tell what the future will hold, but it's amazing how many times price ends up somewhere that makes sense. And in today's case, it's been right bang on the bottom of this green fork that we've drawn from last time. And it's also, we didn't have it drawn on there, but it's also a support and resistance line there at 36 cents. So there's nothing unusual about it being at 36 cents because it was there before, but it's just the when, you know, it's like right on the intersection there. So those sort of things just fascinate me. But anyway, there's also some other things that are interesting about it. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw some more action-reaction lines based on this green fork. And what I'm going to do, and also based on these timelines I've had there, I'm going to draw another line there, taking that diagonal there. And the action-reaction lines on a fork are trading lines. So like you use them as, they're sort of like support and resistance. Price responds to them, and they're very useful for trading. So I'm going to do that one. I'm going to put it parallel on the cross between the timeline and the median line there, if I can get it around there. I'll copy it again over to where it crosses. Two green lines cross there. Copy it again. We'll even go down to here, and maybe even down. Oops. Even down to there. Okay. Okay, so the problem now is I've got these two here are different distances apart, and I want to even them up and just see what happens. Just wondering if this distance here fits into what I've already got there. So I'm going to take my ruler tool and measure from here to here. That's about 36 bars across, so halfway will be 18 bars right there. So copy that onto there. And I'll copy that 18 bars. Where are we? Over to here if I can get it. Another parallel right through the middle there. Copy it over again. I can grab it. Copy. Bang, and if I was to copy that again, it's exactly lines up with the timeline I had drawn before. So that's telling me that I might have an argument there for these being good action-reaction lines. So I've got one there already. I might even go back even just to see if we can make a point. Oh, wrong one. There. Go back, go back. And I've got the first one there that I've drawn, so just bear with me while I set this up, and we may just possibly be coming up to a good trading opportunity. Okay, yeah. All right, the idea behind these action parallel lines, sorry it looks a bit busy, but the idea about these action reaction lines is that price supports resistance supports on them, and if it as it's done on the first one there, if we go back, a lot of times price pivots on these lines as it's done there. It's gone up, it's hit there, resisted, had a little bit of a stop, it's gone up, continued up, and if it breaks out, you trade them at the same way you trade normal resistance line. You trade them as breakouts or as resistance points, target points. So in that case, in this case here, you would trade that as a little bit of a breakout. It's gone down, come up. It's sort of, once it's got past that action reaction line there, it's had a big move up, sort of back tested the line before moving up, come back down. I should actually take these horizontal lines off, but these are vertical lines off because they confuse, make things a bit confusing. I've got too many of them and I'm not really talking about those. I've already made the argument for them. There we go. So we don't have too many lines confusing us here. Confusing me, should I say. Okay, then we've come up to the next one. It's resisted, followed it down, broke through, and you would trade that as a breakout. And then it's come back resisted on this line. It's gapped over it, the next one. Resisted, broke through. It's come back down, resisted, pivoted on the bottom. Once it's sort of made a little bit of a gap onto it before breaking up. It broke up past the next one, but it's had come back to back test it. Broken up, nearly made it. It's come back now, and it's actually back testing on this action reaction line. And when it gets to these lines on a downhill, just about every case, it's pivoted up. It's pivoted up. It's pivoted up. Down, pivoted there. And now it's just amazing how we're now at a conjunction between the horizontal support at 36 cents, the bottom of this green fork, and which just coincidentally happens to be, if you just line these up, just do this so it looks a bit different. If you line that up, it's you know, it's a support and resistance line going back. So we've got one support line there, another support line, an argument for support with the green fork, an argument for support with the green horizontal, and now we have also an argument for support with the action reaction line. So if you're trying to catch a falling knife, that would be a good point to do it. No, well, it would be a logical point. It would be a logical point to do it. And what I'm saying is that there's an argument for it supporting at that point on multiple levels. Does that mean it won't go to the 32.5 back down here? Well, no, because that's we could probably make an argument for that as well. But I'll look at this first. The other argument for that being a support is that we've find that it's completed a range, and it's completed it with the last bar being a wide ranging being wide ranging, and sometimes it can indicate indicate a form of exhaustion. So anyway, that's another argument would be that we could draw another fork there. It's a high pivot, low pivot, high pivot, bang, and the support line of that green fork actually lands bang smack right there where it's gone to. So it's just a that's just freaky to me. I don't know about you, but that just fascinates me, that where things end up. So but anyway, that's starting to look really busy now, so I'm gonna take that fork off. Okay, so what's the how do you trade that? How do you play that? Well, first we probably need to look at the argument for it going down to 32.5, and that would be, we have a look at the stochastics. So, now what have I got written there? Stochastics are against us, so we may be in for a rocky ride. Oh, that's from the last time. How true, how true. Anyway, I'll delete that. The stochastics are actually coming down, and this is why I say we're looking probably at a trading opportunity coming up. The stochastics are starting to get down now into the oversold section of the chart here, and they're still, well, you know, the legs are truly well and truly pointing down, and you'd like them to be pointing up from the oversold, but it's starting to approach the area where we want the stochastics to be. So but they are pointing down, so you could argue that there's downward pressure on price still, and it could possibly go to there, very possibly go to there as well. But anyway, if I was going to pick, if it was going to support there and I was going to pick it, I would probably pick it to go to repeat that range there, which would just so happens to support or resist on the the next action reaction line, in which case it might want to bounce, pivot back down or along back down to the retest the 40 before going up. Hang on, if I copy that again. Oh. Before going up to where we've got that old target there, the 47.5. So that would be that. And if price wanted to go back down to here, could it still make it up to the 47.5? Well, if I copy that over, you'll find it's done it before. There, and there. And the other thing you'll notice is whenever the stochastics have turned up, price has moved up 50%. It's a 50% increase in price. Whether it was here, it's 50% from there to there. And even if we go back further, when the stochastics have turned up, you've got a 50% move there from the 16 to the 25, 24. So so now stochastics are coming down into the oversold again. So whether you think they're going to support there at 36 or the 32.5, there's a bit of an opportunity coming there. Me, if I was going to pick it, and going to try and catch a falling knife, that's where I'd pick it, because of those multiple support lines. But I'd also know that, you know, I've got the 32.5 there, and the stacks coming down to the oversold. But you might just want to wait for them to turn around maybe before you take a move. But that's to each its own. But anyway, that's where I'd pick it if I was catching a falling knife. But yeah, no, it's if I had some spare money,